We have been talking about Arsenal getting a good striker for our football club, because as we speak, it's one major thing that is stopping or making us looking too predictable. When they're able to mark out our wingers, then we become so vulnerable. Arsenal has been linked to two great strikers for a while now. I've been hearing the discussions, we've been discussing about it, we've been hearing the conversation around the world by many reliable journalists and the ones that are not too reliable. But now we have it from one of the most reliable journalists in Fabrizio Romano that Arsenal have now initiated talks with RB Leipzig for the transfer of Benjamin Sesko. Now the deal is not advanced yet, contrary to some reports in other quarters, but what Fabrizio Romano is confirming now is that concrete talks has already begun between Arsenal and RB Leipzig, and of course there is some sense of support from the board for the ambitions or the vision of Mikel Arteta, for him to get Sesko. Now Beta is a big fan of Gyökeres and he was pushing for that deal. In fact, the necessary groundwork that was done by Edu for Sesko, he tried and do its own also on Gyökeres, just to convince the board, like, okay, this is what I've been able to get about this player and I feel I need to get him and the likes. But now the board has finally backed the manager that's been at the club for past 5 years now, Mikel Arteta, ahead of the newly appointed Andrea Beta. Now, this is not to say that the board does not agree or see in light of what Beta was trying to do, and this is not to say that this is no unanimous decision if Benjamin Sesko is signed. But at the moment, it shows the trust and confidence the board has in the visions of Mikel Arteta. And of course, now what I'm hearing now is that if Sesko fails, like if the deal does not work out, maybe if he joins and is unable to perform, that it's on him, because right now there are people at the club who still feel that Sesko should not be the man to be signed. Instead, it should be Gyökeres. But he's the coach. He knows what he wants to use. He knows where he needs somebody. He knows what he wants to use the striker as, or in the role he want him to play. So that is more reason why the board is leaning towards supporting the manager in this case. Now, like I said earlier, that does not mean that Beta is not agreeing to this or the board is going behind him to do this. No, he is the one, in fact, in charge of transfers. So definitely a decision they are all taking unanimously, to pursue Sesko. We have been reporting to you guys already for the past 2 days now that the club are having internal discussions to decide who to go for, and there have been some reports elsewhere about Arsenal going for Gyökeres. Some are saying Arsenal going for Sesko, but we keep telling you guys, and even some are saying that Arsenal have lodged bid for Gyökeres, but we kept denying for you guys that look, there has been no bid for either of them as we speak. Internal discussions are still going on, but yesterday night, confirmation from Fabrizio Romano that the club has not decided to go for Sesko ahead of Gyökeres, and the club have started talks already with each other to try and reach an agreement. Concrete talks are currently ongoing. Sesko to Arsenal, deal is on. Let's see how that one goes. Guys, what do you think about this update about Sesko joining the club ahead of Gyökeres? Personally, for me, but I've always maintained the fact that I feel Gyökeres is more ready, to come into the league and perform so well. But sometimes you might be right, sometimes you may be wrong. Let's see what Sesko will bring to this football club if he eventually joins the club this summer transfer window. Again, let me know what you guys think in the comment section. And finally, before we go, let's give you another breaking news that you need to know right now. Now, we've been discussing about the fact that Arsenal are advancing in talks for contract talks with Thomas Partey. Now, another latest news you need to know is that Gabriel Magalhaes, also as exclusively revealed by Sam Mogwell, is saying that Arsenal are also in advanced talks with Gabriel Magalhaes for his new contract, and also Miles Lewis Kelly also, we understand, also is edging closer to a new contract. Also, we know about the fact that Effa Manieri also has been in talks with the club, even on the Trossard. So there are a lot of contract renewal on the table of our new sporting director and Beta, and he's working tirelessly on them, as well as also working on new players. Now, Zubimendi, according to BBC, very reliable. They are saying that, according to Sam Mogwell, that he is set to arrive for his medicals, and of course the club are expecting to review him or present him to the media before the beginning of our preseason tour. So guys, welcome once again, Martin Zubimendi. And guys, on this note, to be the end of today's Arsenal Roundup, we'll see you guys in our next video. Until then, we is out.